Okay, I hope you found that short video interesting. I thought it was absolutely amazing, with some fantastic animals and some amazing creatures that live in our oceans. We're going to look now at pollution and plastic in particular, and what kind of effect that has on those amazing oceans. So, some facts. Did you know that we rely on the oceans not just for food? Obviously, we catch fish from the ocean, which we eat, but we also rely on the ocean to provide us with some of our oxygen. Did you also know that the way we live our lives is harming our oceans? And the oceans, as we've just seen, are home to some absolutely amazing wildlife, which we need to protect. This slide is looking at single-use plastics, and I mentioned these in the introduction video. What we mean by a single-use plastic is something made from plastic that we only use once, and then we throw it away or we recycle it. But quite often these things can't be recycled, and then they are just thrown away or buried in the ground. And quite often things like plastic bags, straws, plastic knives, forks, water bottles, they're all single-use plastics, and they can find their way into our rivers and streams and eventually find their way into the ocean. And these cause a huge pollution problem and a real threat to wildlife in the oceans. To help you with the tasks that are coming up, I've listed some really useful websites there. The World Wildlife Fund, Greenpeace, BBC Earth, Blue Planet, which we've just seen a video of, and worldoceanday.org. But I'm sure you will find websites of your own if you search for plastics and the ocean, or things like ocean pollution. You will come up with some interesting websites and some interesting information of your own. So again, tasks. First task is to learn a little bit about the ocean and how the oceans are suffering. So again, that's a research task. I've given you a few facts, but I'm really interested to see you come up with some facts of your own and write that kind of thing down and share that with us. The second task is a design task. Again, I'm going to ask you to design a logo for a young person's action group. And what we mean by an action group is a group of people, like yourself hopefully, who feel quite strongly about the pollution that's going on in the ocean and would like to try and do something about it. And what you are doing there is trying to get some action to stop this pollution happening. And the third task is a make task, and that is to find another purpose or another use for something that is a single-use plastic. So number one, research task. I've given you some questions there that may start you off and give you something to think about. So again, how many oceans are there on our planet? How much of the Earth is actually covered in water? How many tons of plastic waste end up in our oceans every year? How does this affect animals that live in the ocean? But I'm really interested to see what else you can discover and write that down for us. Task number two is a design task. And as I mentioned before about an action group, imagine that you feel so strongly about ocean pollution that you start your own action group to campaign for change. I've decided to help you that your group is going to be called Children Against Pollution. So what I would like you to do is look at some logos for well-known action groups, such as Greenpeace. And if you look on the right-hand side of the slide, I've given you examples of one for Friends of the Earth, who are a very well-known environmental group. The World Wildlife Fund, with the logo of the panda, which is a very famous logo again. And the one that I've just mentioned, which is Greenpeace. And I want you to design a simple logo for your group, Children Against Pollution. Think about what that logo might look like. You may use an image in the logo, something that is relevant to the problem. So that's your design task. And then if you get that done, we've got task number 3, which is a making task. I'd like you to find a single-use plastic object in your home. And that could be something like a drinking bottle or a plastic spoon or fork. Think about how it could be made into something useful. For example, a bird feeder from a plastic bottle that can't be recycled. And the example picture there on the slide is a really, really clever bird feeder, which actually uses 2 of those things, which is the spoons and the bottle. I'd like you to draw your idea and label it so that we understand what your idea is. And that would be enough for the task. But if you're feeling really, really ambitious and clever, and you can maybe get a little help, even better, draw your idea and then make it for us. So, good luck with those tasks. Good luck with your research. I'll look forward to you finding out lots and lots of interesting facts, and I shall look forward to learning something myself from you. Stay safe, enjoy doing the activities, and I will see you soon.